Welcome to NTR Takeout. We're diving right into the East Coast port strike that may be on its way in Hurricane Helene. Please go ahead and like the video and hit that subscribe button. Let's get into it.
Ain't no telling what's in the water right now either.
We're not able to walk out. We're too short, and then we don't know what's in the water. There might be some type of animal.
Or like power lines that might be down.
Yeah, power lines. We just don't want to, step in the wrong thing.
No, my father they have to wait there after the output of call it reach to their printer, and then this is to get each call individually and respond out.
Yeah, they're telling us we have to see. We more likely have to stay here until, because the water is like waist high. Like right here is probably a little lower, but out farther is waist high. Like it's literally.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
They're trying to make us. They're telling us to walk.
I'm not calling you back. He said to call back if anything gets worse, and we'll see what we can do. If you can't do nothing for this, what are you gonna do?
So he's saying he can't come get us if right now?
No, he said fire trucks cannot come cannot come.
I'm in Ohio. I'm in the Midwest. Why the fuck is the hurricane up here? I ain't in the South. Ain't this about a bit?
Evacuating during a hurricane is a privilege. Stop getting on here saying, oh, well, people are refusing to evacuate or they're ignoring the warnings. Everybody does not have the money to get up and go. Do y'all not realize that? People are not being stubborn. People are not being like contrarians, or they're not like, oh, it's not going to happen to me. People cannot afford to evacuate. People cannot just get up and go get a hotel room in a city miles away. They don't have the gas. They don't have the vehicle. I remember one time I had roommates. All my roommates left, but I didn't have a car. My kids were with my mom. I didn't have a car. I was just like, I'm just going to get my little candles and bunker down. Luckily, I was safe. But like, it could have went bad and I would have been alone. But I was okay. Everybody checked on me. My family sent me money to help me get supplies. It's not always that easy, y'all. Do y'all not forget that people are poor in every single situation? Stop it. Stop calling people stupid. Stop talking about people. Stop degrading people. People aren't choosing to stay home during the hurricane. They simply cannot afford to leave.
As we all know, this is the storm that we all are focusing on right now, and the tracks are looking like that. But there is another storm that is coming after this, and if it goes to the same exact path as this one, you guys, it's gonna be a wild start to October. So here is what I'm seeing. There's this thing that's coming out. It is right now somewhere right there. There's nothing right there right now. But the future charts are saying something is gonna form. When it gets down here, it's gonna get into well favorable environments. Then it's gonna intensify. Not just that. This is Helene right now. There's something else that's gonna be forming near Texas, probably away from here coming out, and it's gonna gain some strength. Then it's gonna move somewhere. It is a 60% chance of a storm being formed in the Gulf of Mexico first week or the second week of October. Basically next week, we can expect something here. Or we can even expect this storm to be moving down here. If it moves up, it's gonna scrape Florida and it's gonna move all the way up. But if it comes here, that's gonna be a devastating storm. Florida is less than 12 hours from this happening. 12 to 18 feet storm surge. This is how the storm is looking like as of right now. And they increased it to 10 to 20 feet right now. And some weather reports are even saying a category 4 or even a 5 upon landfall. And it's going to be moving in with hurricane force winds all the way to Georgia. Hit the follow button to stay updated. This is a crazy storm. I know we are all kind of confused, but the next storm, we know about this storm, but the next storm, the one after that, So back to back to back. Let's see.
So the governor of South Carolina declares a state of emergency because the whole state is about to be underwater, and the only big business I have seen closed has been DoorDash. Shutting down the schools, I mean, I understand that, but why is AutoZone open? Capitalism and corporate greed is a plague. Can we please talk about it?
Oh, it's going. It's going. All right. Go holler. It's going. That was cool. It's going. Holler at your siblings. Hey, holler at your nameplate. You got here just in time. Did you get it? Good morning, Atlanta. And it is still raining.
Well, this is my apartment right now. Flooded. Yeah. Flooded. In Atlanta.
Oh shit. Alright, I talked to a few people at the rail yard, and they're saying the same thing. They're saying they're seeing a lot of shipments going out and a lot more coming in anticipation for a shutdown. They're not saying it's gonna shut down. They're not saying it's gonna be a strike, but they're getting ready just in case. So for y'all that say I'm fear mongering and scare tactics and all of that, I'm just trying to tell you to be prepared. Get your shit together. This may not affect you directly, but it may affect somebody you know. It may affect your household. It may affect the jobs that people have other than the ports. Maybe the rails, maybe the truck drivers. It's better for you to know about it than to not know about it and not be able to prepare for it. All right.
This morning, a strike is looming at ports along the East and Gulf Coast that could cost the American economy billions of dollars per day and potentially lead to shortages for consumers.
A strike of this magnitude would cripple the U.S. economy.
Dock workers represented by the International Longshoremen's Association are threatening to go on strike Tuesday. The strike would affect 45,000 workers and close to 36 ports from Texas to Maine. Analysts warn warn a walkout lasting more than a week could lead to major supply chain disruptions. Anything imported could be delayed, including fresh produce, toys, alcohol, and vehicles and parts. Some experts warning if you need your car repaired, get to the dealership now.
If there's a prolonged strike, you could see shortages with fresh fruits and vegetables. Obviously, the automotive parts sector will be impacted.
The Port Workers Union is demanding higher wages and a ban on automated cranes, gates, and trucks. The U.S. Maritime Allowance, representing the ports, claims the union isn't bargaining in good faith. The Maritime Alliance has filed an unfair labor practice charge with the National Labor Relations Board in hopes of getting the union back to the bargaining table before Tuesday's contract deadline. Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
Can you imagine 130 days of chaos? 130 days of not being able to go to your local grocery store and get the goods, things that you need to survive. This happened in the 1970s. It was a strike on the ports. Everything was stuck in the ports. All the port workers were on strike and nothing was being moved. Food was just rotting in the containers on the port. They're saying we're 5 days away from the ports going on strike like they did in the 1970s. Could this be the big thing that the corporations know about? That this is gonna happen, and that's why the job market is shit, and that's why nobody's hiring, and that's why there's so many layoffs? Because I could go off right now on what companies just announced layoffs. They're everywhere. A lot more people are losing their jobs. Today, woke up and they no longer have a job. Big companies. And could this be what they're gonna drop on top of DJT? Because it looks like with the preliminary voting, he's killing it. And could this be what they drop on top of him if he takes over to keep him so busy that he can't do anything that he promised to do? Because it's going to be too big to 2020 it. And they have already attempted so many times and can't get rid of him. So maybe their next plan is get him in and make it so bad that people will never vote for somebody like that again. That's a possibility. I don't know, allegedly for entertainment purposes. But be prepared if the ports go on strike. You may not be able to get up and go to Walmart or Target and buy what you need, or even the grocery store for that matter. And that's where we're at. We're 5 days away from them potentially going on strike.
We know that we're in a fight. If they want to fight, then a war is what they're going to get.
Do your research before you go buy up all the damn toilet paper. There is a union that is representing about 45,000 dock workers that is threatening to strike October the 1st. That is when the contract between the International Longshoremen's Association and the United States Maritime Alliance ends. This strike is literally over a $5 increase in pay, according to a really good friend of mine who just so happens to be one of those dock workers. Now, when he told me about it, I was like, oh, that's kind of bad, right? And he was like, it probably ain't gonna last that long, but we don't really know. So then I started doing some digging because I wouldn't be prepared. So then when you go to TikTok for that, you hear all over the place, get prepared because the economy's going to shut down. They have known about this strike for months. So several things have been put in place to make sure that we're okay, at least for a couple months. Major suppliers have increased their inventory because they knew they were going to have a hard time getting stuff in. As a business owner, if I knew 36 ports was going to get shut down, I would have prepared early too. They've increased the amount of workers that are over at East Coast ports so that when the stuff comes over here, they just gonna go on and reroute it over there because they know ain't nobody working at the Gulf or on the West Coast ports. Now, does all of that mean don't prepare? No, but it also means don't panic. But am I still gonna go to Sam's? Yep.
If you all made it this far, please comment your thoughts on the East Coast port strike situation. Do you think it's gonna happen? Do you all agree with the port workers? And will you be prepared if it actually goes down? And let me know you all's thoughts on Hurricane Helene. Thanks for watching.